On the David Coote thing, WhoScored.com and many others have posted a stat that, if confirmed and true, is kind of mind-boggling. So, WhoScored.com posted to say, teams with the best win percentage when officiated by David Coote for 5 or more matches. Bolton have a win percentage of 60% when refereed by David Coote. Leicester City, 61.3%. Manchester United, 62.5%. Liverpool, they say, have a win percentage of 66.7% when David Coote referees. Manchester City. Would anybody like to take a guess what the win percentage for Manchester City is, according to WhoScored.com and many others, when David Coote referees? Would you like to take a stab in the dark? Now remember, Liverpool and Arsenal are probably the two teams that have competed most with Manchester City and would have high win rates anyway. Manchester City have a 100% win rate. 100. Perfect with David Coote officiating. Now, I know we're not allowed to talk about conspiracy theories because we're trying to keep this factual. But the fact that our win percentage, there's a different stat to this that slightly varies it, by the way. That is, it with Coote involved, whether it was a VAR, a linesman or a ref, that has Liverpool below Manchester United by about 10% of win rate. It's a very fortunate coincidence that Manchester City have a 100% win rate. Fortunate that. Interesting. Somebody said I said 100 as a joke. I know, I nearly fell off my chair. And actually, at first I said to Connor, we're not using this. That couldn't be true. But then we searched and we found multiple credible sources who have posted these numbers. You know, because I was dubious. At first I said, nah, this feels a bit down the rabbit hole kind of stuff. But many credible outlets have posted it. So, yeah, it's mad. Now, on the video this morning as well, I did speak to the culture at the Pgmol. Because I'm going to ask, what type of employee feels that comfortable doing these things and posting these things to fellow employees around parties at hotels, recording of certain incidents, bragging about not liking Liverpool and Everett not wanting to referee at Goodison Park because Scousers are shouting at him, and not wanting to go down to Bournemouth because it's so far away, not wanting to referee in the Championship because he's too big for that. He's a referee. These lads have been made to be mini celebrities by the broadcasters. And then the broadcasters, as I've mentioned them many times, have the barefaced cheek to talk to us about the microscope that referees are under and why we should all be more respectful to them. Like I said in my little rant last week or earlier on this week, nobody asked to know the referees' names. Nobody asked to have Ref Watch and Mic'd Up and all of these shows that they put out there. Nobody asked to have Mike Dean on Gillette Soccer Saturday. Nobody wanted this. The broadcasters have caused this shitstorm of highlighting referees. They should be unknown to us. Just go about and do your damn job. And if you're told to referee in the Championship for a game, then you referee in the goddamn Championship for a game. Because your employer's telling you to do that. These guys need to be put in their place. And it speaks to a culture of arrogance and entitlement that these people think that this is okay. Nobody is beyond reproach. Nobody should fight against transparency. And referees, whether the broadcasters and some journalists like to admit it, have got a case to answer here. The Pgmol sacked a referee before for making a joke about a disabled father at Sports Day and also taking the piss out of himself, the referee at the time, and he was fired. And David Coote has clearly been at this carry-on for a long time. And my question is, who else? Who else is at it? Because if you're that comfortable asking other referees to go to these parties with you in hotels, and 10 minutes before the City Spurs game, booking a travel lodge or whatever it was for one of these David Coote parties, that speaks to a certain level of, I'm not concerned with the consequences. And that's worrying. That's worrying to me. And we can't constantly be told we're all mad. I don't think the PGMOL are fit for their purpose personally. And I'm sick of everybody trying to caveat, oh, referees' job's difficult. It is difficult. But we don't give a fuck about their names or how great they think they are or the impact that they have. The managers, the footballers are the reasons we watch the game, not referees. So stop trying to protect and defend the indefensible. Sometimes there are arseholes in any organisation. And you can't say it's tinfoil hat stuff when people are pissed off. Because there is some meat on these bones. Anthony said, I've always thought Coote was not only useless at his job, but can't be trusted to ref Liverpool games or games that affect Liverpool. So Gary Neville tried to say, take him off Liverpool games. And Gary Neville knows that that wouldn't be enough. Because he can still impact Liverpool, not being refereeing Liverpool games. And it's not just Liverpool, Gary. You know, a close friend of his has been quoted as saying, again, that he hates going to Goodison. So it is the entire city of Liverpool that Coote seems to dislike, according to sources close to him. So I would say, no, fuck him, fire him, and make him an example. And yes, give him support emotionally and all the other stuff that an employer should do. But let's not pretend that this isn't absolutely abhorrent and absolutely a fireable offence. Like, the mental gymnastics that Neville has gone through to try and justify this shite is pathetic. Tuck said, apart from Pierluigi Collina, us fans shouldn't know the name of any other referees, but yet I guarantee everybody can name at least 5. Exactly. Like, we're told the VAR was coming in to remove the arguments and the debate and to make referees' jobs easier. Were we not? Were we not told that? VAR is coming in because it's going to stop you debating with your mates down the pub about decisions. It's going to clear up these errors. It's going to help out the referees and it's going to make their jobs easier. And it's done nothing of the sort. Despite Howard Webb going on mic'd up and talking about correct decisions rising by this or that. Bullshit. Because once again, they've massaged things to suit their narrative. What is clear and obvious? They threw this out there to say that they'll only intervene on clear and obvious, which is not definable. Again, transparency. Take responsibility for the bad apples in your organisation. Or football should look to remove the PGMOL. Because it doesn't seem to me like it's fit for purpose. And I have no doubt that there are some great referees, professional referees. Because I know people that have worked with some of them. And I know people that have said to me that they are thoroughly professional. Like, I know people that have told me that they've trained with Anthony Taylor and that he is a model professional in going about his work and his business. So I'm not trying to just slate referees for the fun of it, but to just say that there isn't even possibly a world where they might have something against another team is bullshit. Edward Corbett said, respecting referees is a valid goal. However, the way the PGMOL has been managing refereeing in the last few years, regardless of coup, has absolutely undermined it. Idiots. Edward, spot on, mate. Well said. I agree. You know, I'm all for respecting referees. And I do believe that it should be taught from the second young kids get on a football pitch. And it should be followed all the way through. 100% agree with you. I do. But again, I don't feel like what the broadcasters have done and, you know, the introduction of VAR and all the microscope that comes on top of these officials, when we're still seeing blatantly stupid decisions, it's undermining them. And I do feel like they need to clean house a bit, because it feels to me like there's a culture of ambivalence to getting caught. You know, like, again, I'm going to ask, how did Coote feel so comfortable having his behaviour recorded and to discuss this openly with other officials? You know, if that doesn't speak to a culture of not fearing the fucking consequences, you know, they can tell us all we're mad. But I think the world needs to wake. There's going to be a goddamn reckoning. Because people are sick of being told that what we're seeing, hearing, with our own eyes and ears is not reality. People are fed up with it, mate. And I am absolutely sick to the goddamn teeth with us fans being scapegoated for everything. We don't want to know referees' names. We didn't ask for VAR to be brought in. We didn't ask for this bullshit threshold of clear and obvious. We didn't ask for these clowns to admit not doing their job. Because let's just look at what's happened. Mike Dean came out and said openly, I did not send my mate Anthony Taylor to the monitor when Cucurella was having his hair pulled because I didn't want him to get grief. And what do Sky, the bastions of morality that they are, do? Give this man a goddamn job. Reward him and bring him on as the voice of referees on Sky. After telling us all that he didn't do what he was employed to do. That he didn't give a damn about doing the right thing because not putting his mate under the microscope was more important to Mike Dean at that moment than doing his fucking job. That is disgusting. So to have Sky give him a job, I think is two fingers up to football fans. Now, on top of that, they brought in Ref Watch, where every goddamn Monday we have to listen to Dermot Gallagher doing mental gymnastics explaining why he's backing up these referees every week. Very occasionally he'll say somebody gets something wrong. But none of us care. I don't give a shit what Gallagher says. Because I'm around football long enough to know what I'm seeing with my own eyes and make my own mind up. So they need to take responsibility for this as well. Rather than speaking about respecting referees and blah-de-blah-de-blah. You're putting them in the position.